Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Learn English with Mary and Sam. I'm Mary.
And I'm Sam. We're so glad to have you with us today.
In this episode, we're talking about something that can really brighten up your day: compliments. Whether it's about someone's appearance, work, or even their personality, giving and receiving compliments is an important part of English-speaking culture.
That's right. Giving compliments can make someone feel special, and receiving them is a great way to bond with others. But sometimes it can feel a little tricky. Like, what do you say when someone compliments you? Or how do you give a compliment without sounding too forward?
Exactly. Compliments are a wonderful way to connect with people, but you need to know how to use them properly. That's what we're going to cover today. We'll help you feel confident both when giving and receiving compliments.
We're going to go over some phrases, give examples, and even share a few tips to help you sound natural and polite in these situations.
Let's start with giving compliments. Complimenting someone is a great way to make them feel good. There are many ways you can do this, but let's look at a few common phrases.
Yes, for example, if someone has a beautiful dress or outfit on, you could say, "I love your dress," or "You look amazing today." These are simple and effective compliments.
And if you want to go a little deeper, you can add a reason. For example, "I love your dress. It's so colorful and stylish." This makes the compliment feel more genuine.
Exactly. The key is to be sincere. If you're complimenting someone, make sure it's something you genuinely like or appreciate about them.
Another great way to compliment someone is on their skills or achievements. If someone did an excellent job on a project or presentation, you could say, "You did a fantastic job on your presentation," or "You really nailed that project."
That's a great example, Mary. Compliments like these show appreciation for someone's hard work, and it makes them feel proud of their efforts.
What about complimenting someone's personality? A compliment like, "You have such a positive energy," or "I love how friendly you are," is a great way to acknowledge someone's character.
Yes, and you can also compliment their creativity or intelligence. For example, "You're so creative," or "You always have the best ideas." These kinds of compliments show that you admire their thinking or talents.
But don't forget, compliments can be cultural. In some countries, people may not be as open to receiving compliments as others. So make sure to consider the situation and the person's comfort level.
All right, let's practice a little. Imagine I just finished a really great presentation and you want to give me a compliment.
Okay, I could say, "Sam, that was a fantastic presentation. You explained everything so clearly and with great enthusiasm."
Thank you, Mary. That's a really nice compliment.
Now let's say you're receiving a compliment. Let's pretend I say, "Sam, you look great today. I love your shirt." How would you respond?
Well, I could say, "Thank you. That's so sweet of you to say." Or, "I'm glad you like it."
Exactly. You don't want to sound too modest, but you also don't want to brag. Just a simple "thank you" is always a good option.
If you want to keep the conversation going, you could also ask, "Do you like the color? It's one of my favorites." This shows interest and keeps the compliment exchange flowing.
Great example, Sam. Asking a follow-up question after receiving a compliment can help keep the conversation engaging. Now let's talk about receiving compliments. In English-speaking cultures, people can feel a little awkward when they're given a compliment. So, what should you say?
The most common and polite response is simply saying, "Thank you."
Right. It's short, polite, and always appropriate.
But if you want to sound a bit more enthusiastic, you can add, "Thank you so much," or "That means a lot to me. Thank you."
And if you feel comfortable, you could say something like, "I really appreciate that." This shows gratitude and appreciation.
But remember, it's important not to downplay the compliment too much. For example, saying something like, "Oh, this old thing? can sound a bit dismissive. Instead, just accept the compliment graciously.
Good point, Sam. Accepting a compliment with a warm "thank you" makes the other person feel appreciated as well.
Let's take a moment to discuss some common mistakes when giving or receiving compliments.
Yes. One mistake people often make is being too shy when receiving a compliment. It's totally fine to feel a little shy, but remember, the person giving the compliment wants to make you feel good. So just smile and say, "Thank you."
Another mistake is giving a compliment that doesn't feel sincere. You don't want to give compliments just to flatter someone. Make sure you genuinely mean what you're saying.
Exactly. Compliments should come from the heart. And remember, they don't always have to be about appearance. Skills, achievements, or personality traits are all great ways to compliment someone. All right, let's quickly recap what we've learned today.
First, when giving compliments, it's important to be specific. Compliment someone's appearance, their work, or their personality, and be sincere about it.
Second, when receiving compliments, the best thing you can do is simply say, "Thank you." You can also add a little more enthusiasm if you'd like, but avoid downplaying the compliment.
And don't forget to ask follow-up questions if you want to keep the conversation going after receiving a compliment.
Finally, always be sincere and considerate when complimenting others. Compliments should make people feel good and appreciated.
That's it for today's episode, everyone. We hope you feel more confident about giving and receiving compliments in English.
Thanks so much for joining us. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Learn English with Mary and Sam. We'd love to hear about your experiences giving and receiving compliments.
And if you have any questions or want to share how you give and receive compliments, leave a comment below. We'll be sure to respond.
We'll see you next time for another fun and informative episode. Take care, and remember, compliment someone today.
See you soon.